Hello and welcome. Andy here and Talkin Ready. And today's story, I just want to put in a message to say, well, first of all, thank you for watching and welcome to the many hundreds of people who have joined this channel. So thank you for supporting the channel. There are obviously free ways of doing it and there are paid ways of doing it. So if you feel like you need to help me out, there are ways of paying a small fee to help fund the channel. So if you want to do that, that's purely optional. Don't feel pressured because YouTube is free. You just click subscribe. Now, there is a story out and I want to preface it with please be aware, nothing has happened yet. So when you hear the story or any story, remember it is out there to inform you, but also to fearmonger. And the more that they generate the fear, manifestation is what it's called. They can manifest the bad things. So if you believe it, it will happen. So bear that in mind when you hear this story, because it is out there in the media, in the mainstream media, and everything that they do has an agenda. And the agenda here is pushing the Labour idea. They are going to persecute disability benefits and disability people. Because now, I heard this story a while back, and of course it is a age-old problem that they don't like people with mental health issues. This can be anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, whatever mental health condition that is. Purely because there's a stigma. People get, you get a bit depressed, do you claim benefits? Now, for those people with mental health issues, it's quite serious. And I can testify that having depression is not a nice thing. Certainly after my back surgery, all those years ago, when I suddenly woke up and found out that probably not going to be able to walk ever again after being mobile all my life and having to go back into a wheelchair after being out of a wheelchair since age 9 and then at age 45 or whatever it was going back into a wheelchair purely because somebody had made a cock up was not a nice thing to actually discover. So obviously my depression was something that I had to deal with, and it wasn't long term for me because I got the help I needed and my self-determination as well. But there are people with mental health issues who cannot get out of the situation that they're in. Even with help, they are still going to be suffering from this condition. But unfortunately, society, but especially the government, have this thing that if you have a mental health condition, it's not a real disability. So certainly this is no surprise to me that there are proposals to scrap allowing anybody with mental health issues from claiming a disability benefit. It's just wrong. It's just wrong because they are going to differentiate between physical and mental disability. Then where does that end? Now, as I said before, this is in mainstream media. Some of the mainstream media, as we all know, is not as reliable as others. And certainly when it appears in more than one outlet, then you can pretty much guarantee that it's something that's true. So I have had a look around and I have found this one. There are in several outlets, so it is, in my opinion, something to worry about in terms of it could happen. But bear in mind it hasn't happened yet. So, new proposals, especially for PIP, which is for disability. They were going to scrap benefits for mental health claimants in this idea. Controversial proposals, yes they are, have emerged. It's a right centre think tank. Yes, made up of able-bodied people probably. They suggest a radical overhaul of the PIP system. Proposed reforms call for an end to PIP payments for individuals with mental health conditions, restricting the financial aid exclusively to those with physical ailments. Last figures were made, there was PIP claims for psychiatric illnesses accounting for 1.4 million, that's 38%. So this is exactly why they're targeting this, because it's a huge bill they don't want to pay. And this is predominantly for anxiety and depression, both of which are very real, disabilities, so let's not discount them. Currently, spending on incapacity and disability benefits has surged by 40%. I wonder why. The amount exceeds the UK defence budget. Well, we haven't really got a defence because we haven't got an army anymore, so that's a little bit of a disingenuous statement. And it matches 22% of the total health budget. Labour is gearing up to unveil the Green Paper, which is coming in spring, which will be a sweeping reform to the benefit system. And of course, this is Liz Kendall. She announced this in Parliament, and the committee is pressing for a rapid revamp. And as the changes loom, the new plans target PIP claims relating to mental health as a driving factor for rising economic inactivity. What they're doing now is targeting people that are on their phones and mobile devices, saying that the report is about regular social media users, and they are 1.7 times more likely to be diagnosed with mental health conditions. And of course, they're acting now to restrict the age of consent to 16 and ban algorithms for users under 16. Well, technically, they shouldn't be on there anyway because Facebook has a minimum age of 13, but there are plenty of children on Facebook. Amongst the recommendations to combat the over-medication of mental health is calling for a uniform NHS definition of mental health. It also proposes enhanced diagnosis and prescription practices, including tracking misdiagnosis rates and suggesting a dedicated national strategy focused on social prescribing that caters to children and young people. Oh yeah, they're going to try and blame the internet because patients are increasingly diagnosing themselves and then obviously present those symptoms to the doctor, which they do. So they look it up and they, well, I've got depression. Let's go to the doctor and say, doctor, I think I've got depression because I've got so-and-so. And the doctor will agree because that's what you get when you have those illnesses. So, and also it's very difficult to know if somebody is going to make it up, then how do you tell? Because anxiety and depression are in the head, as per, it's a mental health condition, and there's no physical way of telling. Although there are some tests that can be done to see, because some of them are affected by hormones and things like this, which you can detect in blood. Yes, well, we knew this was coming. Basically, it's just all part of the plan. And as I say, don't worry about it. It is not happening yet. And of course, we'll keep you informed if it does. That's it from me. Have a very good day. And I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.